ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः।
हरि ओम।
हरिः ॐ। Um, Let us just read the first two mantras so that I get the continuity in explaining. सुपर्णा सयुजा सखाया समानं वृक्षं परिषस्व जाते तयोरन्यः पिप्पलं स्वादुवत्ति अनश्ननन्यो अभिचाकशीति. So the first mantra is just reiterating the condition that we experience, that we feel. We feel as if there are two birds, or we feel that there is Jiva and Ishvara. Jiva is different from Ishvara. This condition that we experience in life is just being reiterated. Then in second mantra, समाने वृक्षे पुरुषो निमग्नः अनीशया शोच्यति मुह्यमानः जुष्टं यदा पश्यति अन्यमीशम् अन्यस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः. Then the solution is given that although the two Jiva and Ishvara are found in the same body, or they're available to be known in the same body, where one is Nimagnaha and Anishaya Shochati Muhyamanaha, where one, the Jiva, is finds himself helpless, deluded, and grieving, immersed in grief, and this is, I'm just this much, and finds himself helpless, as if I am this deha, I am somebody's grandson, etc. I am happy, I am unhappy. This way finds himself limited and subject to birth, death, etc. Association with the loved ones. The jiva finds himself so. But when yada jushtam pashyati, when he sees the other one who is adorable, who is worthy of worship, when he sees the second one, and when he understands that everything that he confronts is the glory of this Ishvara, and that Ishvara is not separate from me. The content of Ishvara is the content of I. When he understands that I alone am shining in this way, I alone as consciousness am shining in this manner, so all of this is my glory. When he understands this, then Vita Shokaha, then he becomes free from grief. Now the same idea is further the nature of Brahman is further expounded in mantra 3. Yada pashyate rukmavarnam kartaramisham purusham brahmayonim tada vidvan punyapape vidhuya niranjanah paramam samyamupaiti. So yada pashyah. So pashyah here is referring to the wise person. So when the wise person pashyate. So when the wise person sees pashyati, when the wise person sees rukma varnam kartaram isham purusham brahmayonim, refers all to this Ishvara. When the wise person sees Rukmavarnam, this Ishvara of the golden hue, who is the Kartaram, who is the creator, who is Isham, who is the uh, how has Swamiji translated? Let us see. Who is the cause of creation? Who Isham, we can take it also as a ruler. Then who is I need Sanskrit as well. Who is Purusha, meaning who is all pervasive or complete. Brahma Yonim, meaning who is the cause of creation. So when he sees this kind of Ishvara, tada vidwan punya pape vidhuya, then the wise becomes free from punya and papa. So when he sees that this same Ishvara is also, the content of Ishvara is also who I am. Without this identification with this body, who I am, in true sense, the consciousness, when the wise person sees, then the wise becomes free from punya and papa, virtues and vice. Niranjana, he becomes pure. Paramam Samyam Upaiti, and he attains oneness, unsurpassable oneness with this Ishvara. So he sees himself as the very Adhisthana of the creation, and in this way he finds identity with Ishvara. So in the first, so this mantra is also just describing the nature of Brahman further in detail. अन्यः अपि मन्त्रः इमम् एव अर्थम् आह सविस्तरम् यदा यस्मिन् काले पश्यति इति विद्वान् साधकः इत्यर्थः. So अन्यः अपि मन्त्रः imam eva artham aha vistaram. So again another mantra is said, Sangati is given before expounding. Then again another mantra is said to elaborate, savistaram meaning elaborate the meaning conveyed in the earlier mantra, in the second mantra. So what is it? Yada of the mantra explained as Yasmin Kale, when Pashyah here is the one who sees. Pashyati iti vidvanah sadhakah ityarthah. So the one who sees, the wise person or the seeker. Then Bhashya continues. Pashyate means Pashyati Urvavat, as earlier explained in the just previously. Pashyate should be understood as Pashyati, so sees. Rukma Varnam of the mantra explained as Swayam Jyoti Swabhavam Rukmasya iva va Jyotihi Asya Avinakshi. So Rukma Varna means of the nature of Swayam Jyoti Swabhavam, so of the nature or characteristics of self-effulgence, or Rukmasya iva Jyotihi, or like gold whose light is asya avinashi. Jyotihi asya avinashi. Like gold whose light is imperishable. So that is another meaning of Rukma Varnam. So Rukma Varnam either can be understood as self-effulgence, the nature of being self-effulgent, or like gold whose light is imperishable. That is what we understand by Rukma Varnam. Kartaram, one who is the creator of the entire world. Isham, Sarvasya Jagatah Isham. Kartaram meaning Sarvasya Jagatah Isham. Well, we also have Isham um, of the mantra. But we can take it as just one who is the creator of the entire world. Isham can also be taken as ruler of the world. Purusham, who is complete, all pervasive. Brahma Yonim, who is Brahman as well as the cause of the universe, or who is the cause of Apara Brahma or Brahmaji or Hiranyagarbha. So Brahma Yonim can be explained as one who is the cause of Apara Brahman or Brahmaji or Hiranyagarbha, or one who is Brahman as well as the cause of the creation. Okay, yeah. So Brahma Yonim is explained in this two different manner. Yeah. Okay. Then the Bhashya continues, Saha yada cha evam pashyati. So when he sees in this manner, tada, then Saha Vidwan, that wise person who sees, Pashyas. Saha explains as tada, Saha Vidwan Pashyah. Then that wise one who is seeing, what happens to that? Punya Pape. Punya Pape is explained as Bandhana Bhute Karmani Samule. Punya Pape means the vice and virtues, the good and bad karma in the form of bondage, along with its cause, Vidhuya. Vidhuya meaning Nirasya Dagdva, shaking it off or giving it up. Niranjanah, meaning Nirlepah, Vigata Kleshah. He becomes one without impurities. So when this punya and papa, etc., are shaken off, because why even punya? Because even punya is even punya becomes a bondage for taking another birth. Even punya becomes a cause for another birth, and therefore shaking it off or giving it up, he becomes one without impurities. And why it becomes bondage? Because both of them are not in me. In real, in I who is consciousness, neither is punya in me, neither the papa is in me. Why? Because I am the akarta. In akarta atma, there cannot be punya as well as there cannot be papa for sure, but there cannot be also punya. So in that manner, when he knows his true nature as a karta, I am not the one who is doing, I am the consciousness uh, who in whose presence everything is happening. When he establishes himself in this manner, and when he sees that I am not different from the consciousness that is this that is the content of even this Isha, that is the content of this Rukma Varnam. Then Punya Pape Vidhuya, then having shaken, then shaking these Punya and Papa off or giving it up, uh, Niranjanaha, he becomes one without impurities, meaning Nirlepaha, he is not tainted by any karma. Meaning Vigata Kleshaha, he becomes free from suffering. And Paramam Samyam Upaiti, that is explained as Paramam Prakrushtam Niratishayam, supreme, unsurpassable Samyam, Samatam, identity, non-duality, Samatam, Advaya Lakshanam, Samatam, identity of the nature of non-dual It's also explained further as Dvaita Vishayani Samanyatah Arvanchi Eva Atah Advayah Lakshanam Etat Paramam. So basically, he attains this supreme, unsurpassable equality of the nature of non-duality. This much is explained. And then this clause, Dvaita Vishayani Samanyatah Arvanchi Eva Atah Advya Advaya Lakshanam Etat Paramam. So there can be identity even in in Dvaita. How? Through upasana. Through upasana, even though one would maintain that I am the upasaka and I'm doing the upasana of the upasya of the Ishvara, one can gain identity. But it is not identity in complete sense. It is not complete identity. That identity is still inferior to this identity where I understand that I alone am the substratum upon which the ideas of Jiva and Ishvara are superimposed. So in that terms, this identity is considered to be more supreme than the identity that one can gain from upasana, from meditation, from meditation upon the uh, upon Bhagavan. So he attains total identity with the Lord, Samyam Paramam, Samyam Upaiti, total identity with the Lord without any separation. So identity with respect to duality is inferior compared to the identity in the form of non-duality. Therefore, he attains that supreme identity in the form of non-duality with the Lord. Then the fourth mantra, Prano Hiyeshakyas Sarvabhutaihi Vibhati Vijanan Vidvan Bhavatenativadi Atmakrida Atmarati Kriyavan Esha Brahma Vidam Varishtha. This one is indeed Pranaha. Yaha Esha He Pranaha. This one is indeed Pranaha. Sarvabhutaihi Vibhati, who shines variously as all these beings. Vijanan Vidvan Bhavate na Ativadi. When the wise man or when the wise knows this Purusha in this way, then he does not become Ativadi. He does not become tall talker. He does not transgress anything. Atma Kridaha Atmaratihi Kriyavan. Such a wise who always sports with oneself, Atmakridaha, sports with oneself, Atmaratihi, always revels with oneself, Kriyavan, performing only those actions with in keeping with the knowledge, which will not distract him from the abidance in this knowledge. Eshaha wise, this wise is Brahmavidam Varishtaha, is the most exalted among the knowers of Brahman. Kincha, moreover, so this is the Phalavachana. What happens as a result of seeing this oneness, this total identity with the Ishvara? What is the phalam? What am I supposed to gain? Is it something that I should, have as my goal in my life? So a phalam is explained. And moreover, yaha ayam pranasya pranaha paraha ishvaraha. And moreover, this which is the essence or content of the pranaha, which is parameshwara, meaning that who cannot be improved upon, He Eshah is indeed this. What do you mean by this? Eshah meaning this is indeed this. What do you mean by this? Prakrutah. Uh, Prakrutah meaning that which is the subject matter of discussion. What is the subject matter of discussion in Mundaka Upanishad? Akshara Brahma. So this is indeed this Akshara, which is the subject matter under discussion, which shines sarvabhutaihi brahmadi stamba paryantaihi, which shines as all the beings from the lowest embodiments, stamba, to the highest embodiment like Brahmaji. So moreover, this is kinch ayam pranasya pranaha paraha ishvarahi eshaha sarvabhutaihi is in the form of all the bhutas. This Ishvara alone, who is the content of even the prana, is what sarva is found in the form of all the beings. Beginning from stamba, the lowest, say the grass, to the highest, which is Brahmaji. So this Akshara alone is, is in the form of all these beings, shines or is in the form of all these beings. Ittam Bhuta Lakshana Tritiya. This is grammar. So even if you don't understand this, it is okay. But I'm just going to translate it since we are doing it. Tritiya is a grammatical vibhakti, which is in the sense of usually instrumental case, meaning when you want to say by this, with this, then the third declension or vibhakti is used. So here it is not that typical meaning in which it is used. Here it is itham bhuta lakshana tritiya, meaning it is in the sense of in the form of that meaning. So sarva bhutaihi is in the form of all the bhutas. This Ishvara, the content of the prana, is in the form of all the bhutas. That is the meaning that we get by this uh, Itham Bhuta Lakshana Tritiya. That is it. Even if you don't get it, even if you don't translate it, don't worry. I'm not expecting it. But just for, for understanding, I just explain that here Sarva Bhutaihi means in the form of all the living beings. The content of all the living beings. Further, Sarvabhutastha Sarvatma San Ityartha. Ittam Bhutam Tritiya is what? Sarvabhutastha Sarvatma. Meaning the one abiding in all the beings, being the content of everything, the one abiding in all the beings. Sarvatma San, meaning the one who is the content of everything. How is he the content of everything? Sarva Bhutastha, abiding in or being present in all the beings. Abiding or being present, both the meanings is okay. That's how we should take it. Then further, the mantra's word Vibhati explained as Vividham Deepyate, shines variously. Evam सर्वभूतस्थं यः साक्षात् आत्मभावेन अयम् अहम् अस्मि इति विजानन् विद्वान् वाक्यार्थज्ञानमात्रेण न भवति इति एतत्. So in this manner, sarvabhutastam yaha. So one who knows that who is present everywhere. Sarvabhutastham, meaning who is present everywhere. When one knows that Sakshat Atma Bhavena. How does one know that? How does one know this Sarvabhutastham as Sakshat Atma Bhavena? He knows that Ishvara who is present everywhere, that Brahmana Akshara who is present as the very intimate self. He knows this Brahman intimately. How? Atma Bhavena, as the very intimate self. Ayam aham asmi iti. As that Brahman, I am, as that I am this. Sorry, let me reform or restructure the sentence. So in this manner, when one who knows that who is present everywhere, the Akshara Brahman, as what? As the intimate self. Meaning what? I am this. In this manner, when he understands that Brahman, recognizes that Brahman, iti vijanan, vidwan, such a wise knows this Brahman. How? Vakyartha gnana matrena. By the knowledge of the Vakya. By the knowledge of the Mahavakya. Meaning by the vision of the Shruti. By the Tatparya of the Shruti. He understands the Tatparya of the Shruti is in the oneness of Jiva and Ishvara, and so he understands this Brahman as the very intimate self, as the very self, and when he knows in this manner, then na bhavate, then he does not become. Na bhavate of the mantra is should be understood as na bhavati. So grammatically, the changes are being made so that it would make sense. So it should not, grammatically it should not be bhavate, it should be bhavati. So the Bhashyakara is just explaining the grammar part, that he does not become iti etat. So now the question is, Kim, what does it does not become what? So Bhashyakara further explains Ativadi. It does not become Ativadi. So what is this Ativadi? Bhashyakara explains Atitya Sarvan Anyan Vaditum Shilam Asya Iti Ativadi. So Ativadi is the person. Okay. So who is that person? Is the person whose Shilam. Asya Shilam is a person of whose character or nature is to speak. Vaditum is to speak. Atitya Sarvan Anyan, transgressing all others. So one whose nature or character is to speak, transgressing all others, one who is tall talker, one who is transgressing all others is known as Ativadi. So the Vidwan does not become Ativadi. Further, that is going to be explained. What? Yah tu evam sakshat atmanam pranasya pranam vidvan sah ativadi na bhavati ityartah. So, however, tu, meaning however, yah, evam, in this manner, the wise who knows, saha vidvan who knows, in this manner, or let me get rid of this. However, the wise vidvan, however, tu is however, then vidvan is the wise. However, the wise who knows in this manner knows what? Pranasya pranam, the content of the prana, sakshat atmanam, which is the intimate self. When he knows this, then he does not saha ativadi na bhavati. And he does not become ativadi. Why does he not become ativadi? Further explain. Sarvam yada atma eva na anyat asti iti drishtam tada kim hi asau atityavadet. So when he has known yada sarvam atma eva, when he has known, when he has drishtam meaning uh, seen or known or recognized. Uh, so this much part we are seeing here right now. So drishtam meaning seen or known or recognized. So yada when he has known or seen what? Sarvam. Everything atma eva is self alone and na anyata and not apart from self and not anything other than the self. When one has seen this, recognized this, tada kim hi asau atityavadet, then who will he transgress or how will he speak transgressing anything? Because in his vision there is no other thing. Everything is Atma, meaning everything is self. So in his, interaction, in his speaking, he is not going to have this anya bhavaha. So he is not going to transgress anything. Yasya tu aparam anyat drishtam asti. However, of the one who sees things as other than the self, like you and I, we see as what? This is I and this is you, and this is the third person, and this is form, etc. We see everything as what? Right now, in ignorance, during the state of ignorance, we see as aparam, anyahat. We see everything as other than ourselves. And then what do we do? Sah tat atitya vadati. He speaks transgressing that. So uh, we transgress that about which one we are speaking. But this Vidwan does not transgress anything. Ayam tu Vidwan na atmanah anyat pashyati, na anyat shrunoti, na anyat vijanati. So again, this is borrowed from another Shruti statement. Uh, however, I am Vidwan, this wise, no Atmanaha Anyat Pashyati, does not see this Atma or does not see anything other than the self. Na Anyat Shunoti, does not hear anything other than the self. Na Anyat Vijanati, does not know anything other than the self. Meaning what? He knows that the self alone is the substrating of everything. So whenever I interact with anything, truly in its true sense, I am interacting only with the self. Just like there may be many waves in the ocean, but if there is one wave, let us say, if it has understood that I am not a little helpless wave, but I am that water, the content of my swarupa. By swarupa, I am water, which is not different from these other waves, and which is not different from the ocean. Then what? Will it ever transgress that, oh, this other wave is becoming taller than me, or I am the tallest wave? Will it transgress that? Or I am little, I'm just part of this huge ocean. It will never transgress in this manner. It will never have this feeling of I am different from everything else. uh, so also this wise person does not see anything other than the self, does not hear anything other than the self, does not know anything other than the self, because he knows himself as the substratum of everything. Cause of the creation by matter of being the upadana karanam, being the substratum of everything. Ataha na ativadi, therefore he is not ativadi, or he does not become ativadi. Kincha, and moreover, atma kridah, atmani eva krida, kridanam yasya nya anyatra putra daradishu sa atma kridah. So now the word atma kridah of the mantra is explained. So atma kridah is, so, and moreover atma kridah, meaning he is atma kridah. Atmani eva krida. So one who sports only in the self. That and na anyatra, and not elsewhere. Elsewhere meaning what? Putra daradishu. In son, wife, and all other relations. So one does not sport in that. One does not depend on one's happiness for external relations like this, or external means like this, but one gets the happiness from oneself by sporting with oneself. That person, that wise person, is called Atma Kridah. Tatha Atmaratihi. Then, and he is Atmarati. The Atmarati of the mantra explained as Atmani eva ratihi Ramanam Pritihi Yasya Saha Atmaratihi. So the one who revels, Ratihi means revels. Krida was taken as sports, and Ratihi means revels. One who revels in only Atma. Ramanam, meaning one who dwells only in Atma. Pritihi, another word, meaning one whose interest is only in the self. Saha Atmaratihi. That person, that wise person, is called Atmaratihi. So now the difference between Krida and Ratihi is explained. Krida बाह्य साधन सापेक्षा, रतिः तु साधन निरपेक्षा, बाह्य विषय प्रीति मात्रम इति विशेषः. So krida, sporting, is in reference to, or with reference to, external means. Bahya sadhana sapeksha is with reference to the external means. So when he is sporting with, he's interacting with anything, he is not distracted. He is not he is not he does not see those things as other than the self. So sporting is with reference to external means. However, while rati means what? Sadhana nirapeksha. Reveling is without the external means as well. He is dwelling in the self. How? Bahya Vishaya Priti Matram. Only the interest or liking in the external subject may be there in Rati. So in normal case, Krida is when you are, when you are interacting with external things and getting enjoyment. And Rati is when you have just a liking for something, and even without having those objects, when you just think about it. For example, laddu. You can have a laddu in front of you and you can enjoy it. That would become krida, because you are actually having a laddu in front of you. But ratihi, you do not have a laddu in front of you right now. But when I say laddu, then perhaps if you do like laddu, then you are going to get a laddu. If I say that, then you will get that, or even by just saying that laddu, then a feeling of joy is as though uh, develop. So that is called rati. When you try to derive the pleasure just by remembering something that you like, or just dwelling on it, just dwelling on some good moments that you had, or thinking about anything that you like, that is called ratihi. So in ratihi you do not have the object with you, and still you derive the pleasure without the object being with you. So just by thoughts you are dwelling in it, whereas in krida you are actually having the objects. So here Atma Kridaha and Atma Ratihi is explained that in Atma Kridaha, he may have those external means, and even when he is interacting with the external means, he is actually sporting only in Atma, because he does not see anything as other than self. And so even when he may seem to watch cricket. Uh, See, just yesterday there was a match. So our Swamiji watches cricket. See, I have a problem with, we should. I have a value or discipline for only we should be doing certain things. But you know how the wise people are. He watches cricket, and he takes the joy of it. But then he does not swerve from, from this. Abidance of uh, what is my swarupa. So even when he is enjoying, he may normal people may think that okay, he is watching cricket just like you and I, but no, uh, it is not that he is deriving the happiness from that watching of cricket, even when he is watching cricket. Why? Because he knows that I alone am the substratum of everything, and he knows that even when I am watching, even when I'm deriving happiness while watching cricket, that happiness is not coming because of watching cricket. That happiness is my nature. He does not swerve from this understanding. That happiness is my very nature. So Atma Kridaha, in this manner, one may seem to be sporting or interacting with external means, or one may be reveling without the external means, with only the interest or liking in the external subject. So one may be just dwelling on self, or one may be interacting with other things, but without being swerved from this idea of this is the self. So this is the distinction between krida and ratihi. Then tatha kriyavan gnana dhyana vairagya adi kriya yasya saha ayam kriyavan. So kriyavan is explained as what? And one in whom action is there. What kind of action? So gnana dhyana vairagya adi kriya, the actions, whose actions beginning from gnana should be taken here as shravanam, like what you and I are doing. Shravanam. Dhyana means meditation, dwelling on that atma, or meditation. Vairagya adi kriya, developing the sadhana or the means such as dispassion, sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, dispassion, shamadhi shatka sampatti, working on it, mumukshutvam. So one who is committed to all these actions and not distracted to uh, any other duty bound actions, which will take his uh, which will be an obstacle, in which could be an obstacle in dwelling or abiding or knowing the self, as revealed by the Shastras. So Kriyavan here is one in whom there is these actions of Shravanam, meditation, and developing the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti for antakaran shuddhi, meaning one who is constantly working towards antakaran shuddhi, purification of heart, of mind, and one who is actively doing the Shravanam meditation. That person is called Sahayam, is called Kriyavan. Okay, so now there is some grammar which you can omit in your summary, but I will just still go through it just because we have started. समास पाठे आत्मरतिः एव क्रिया अस्य विद्यते इति बहुव्रीहि मतुप् अर्थयोः अन्यतरः अतिरिच्यते. So on account of the samasa, meaning samasa is the compound word. Between Atmarati and Kriyavan, there is a samasa. If you take a samasa, then what happens? The meaning becomes the one for whom. What is the Atmarati? Reveling in the self is the only action. So this is the alternative meaning to Kriyavan, taking as Gnana, Dhyana, Vairagya, Adi Kriya. So another meaning, if you take the samasa, Kriyavana and Atmarati as a compound sentence as one word, then it would mean as the one for whom Atmarati alone is the Kriya, is the only action. But if you take it as a compound, Bhashyakara is telling, then there are two pratyaya that are being used in the two words Atmaratihi and Kriyavan. So then as a compound it will become Bahuvrihi Samasa, and Kriyavan has Kriyavat Matup Pratyaya. So then the one possessing Kriya, and if you take a compound as Bahuvrihi, then it would mean that the one who has this Kriya of Atmaratihi. So meaning it would, one of it will be compromised. The meaning would be as though redundant, it would be repeated, and that is considered a dosha. So it doesn't fit properly if you take it in this sense. So in short, up till here, Kriyavan, you for this mantra, you understand up till here. And then if you omit the further part, it is all okay. I'm just taking it since I've started doing Bhashya. Kechittu. So now a paksha is being raised with reference to this samasa and this atmaratihi and kriyavan as being a compound word. An opponent raises a question, or he presents one position. Kechittu agnihotra adi karma brahma vidyayoho samuchaya artham icchanti. However, this is the samuchayavadi. However, some take the two adjectives. Which two adjectives? Kriyavan and Atmaratihi. They take these two adjectives to be separate, independent, and they take it as combination of Agnihotra karma, the duty-bound action, and knowledge of the self. So there are some opponents who always say, what is our position? Our position is you do not do karma and gnana together. You cannot do karma and gnana together because they are, Bhashyakar alone will tell. But I'm just, because they are as opposite as light and darkness. Why? You cannot do karma and Gnana together. What is Gnan? That I am a karta. And what is karma involved? That I am karta. So this I am karta and I am a karta, it cannot happen simultaneously. Therefore, this karma and gnana cannot go together. This is our position. What does the paksha say? What does the opponent say? The opponent says that the two adjectives should be treat it separately and you should combine it, and you should understand that one should do Agnihotra karma, duty bound action, as well as knowledge of self together. They should combine it. तच्च एषः ब्रह्मविदां वरिष्ठः इति अनेन मुख्य अर्थवचनेन विरुध्यते. So now we are showing the dosha of what happens if this interpretation is taken. There, so we are saying tacha, but this interpretation would contradict mukhya artha vachanena virudyate. Virudyate, this interpretation would contradict the main meaning which is conveyed by the verse, by this mantra, which says Esha Brahma Vidam Varishtha. So this mantra alone says that such a wise person who is doing Atmaratihi, Atma Krida, Kriyavan is the most exalted among all the knowers of Brahman. So this statement would not hold true if the interpretation of the opponent is taken. So that is how we are defending ourselves. That by explaining, by taking your meaning, this mantra, we would not do justice to the mantra, words of the mantra. Further, nahi bahya kriyavan atmakridah atmaratiश्च bhavitum shakyah. So, bhavitum shaktah, na bhavitum shaktah. That's the original word. It is not possible for the one. Which one? Atmaratihi atmakridah. One who is active in performing external actions. Bhakya kriyavan. One who is active in performing external actions. Nahi bhavitum shaktah. It is not possible. It is not possible for what? It is not possible to sport and atmaratihi and revel in oneself. It is not possible to sport in the self, and it is not possible to revel in the self for the one who is active in performing external duties, who is duty bound. Why? Because it will be a distraction in his mind. Any external things, any karma becomes a distraction, and therefore it is not possible to sport and revel in the self. What do you mean here by external actions? By entertaining this, when doing activities, if I entertain that I am doing this action, so whatever action I'm doing is separate from I, on whom the action is being done is separate from I. So I'm calling somebody, I'm talking somebody. If I take all this as separate things, as different from the self, then I cannot sport and revel in the self. So the two things cannot go together. Dvaita and Advaita cannot go together. This is the fundamentals that is being taught in by this argument. And so that samuchaya is not possible. क्वचित् बाह्यक्रियाविनिवृत्तः हि आत्मक्रीडः भवति बाह्यक्रिया आत्मक्रीडयोः विरोधात्. Any person can sport in self. आत्मक्रीडः भवति बाह्यक्रियाविनिवृत्तः हि. Any person can sport in the self only when he has vinivruttah, withdrawn, bhakya kriyaha, when he has withdrawn from external activities, kvachita, at some point. So at least at some point, when one withdraws from himself from the external activities, then there is, then he has the scope of becoming Atma Kridaha. Then he can sport in the self only. Bahya Kriya Atma Kridayoho Virodha. Why is it so? Because sporting in self and performing external actions are mutually contradictory, opposing in nature. Like I said, that I am Karta and I am Akarta, these two are totally opposite. Atma reveling in self is in which self? That I am the Akarta Atma. So these two do not go together. Therefore, one has to withdraw himself or herself from external activities at some point, and only then one can become Atma Kridaha. So Samuchaya is not possible. Nahi tamah prakashayoho युगपद एकत्र स्थितिः संभवति. So, indeed, light and darkness of these two, like light and darkness, युगपद एकत्र स्थितिः न संभवति. Simultaneously, light and darkness cannot be present at one place or in one place. So just example is given. So just as light and darkness cannot be there simultaneously in one place, so also one cannot be Atmarati, Atmakrida and still engaged in Bahya Kriya, meaning still entertain the idea of otherness. तस्मात् असत् प्रलिपितं sorry तस्मात् असत् प्रलिपितम् एव एतत् अनेन ज्ञानकर्म समुच्चय प्रतिपादनम्. Therefore, this interpretation of Gnana Karma Samuchaya Pratipadanam, this interpretation of combination of karma and gnana is not proper. So pralipita, I have just given the summary. I have not given the word to word. Asat pralipitam, it is mithya alone. That is how we should translate. So that whatever you are saying, it is, it's a mithya words, etc. But it all comes down to this interpretation of combination of karma and gnana is not proper. Then anya vachah vimuchatah and sannyas yogat ityadi shrutibhyah cha. This is also established by the statements of the Shruti of Mundaka Shruti alone, where it is said anya vacha vimunchatah. This we already studied in the second Mundaka, that one should give up all other uh, all other activities, and anya vacha meaning all other talk other than the knowledge should be given up. And the sixth mantra, which you have studied and we still have to go over, Sanya Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitarthaha Sannyasa Yogat Yataya Shuddha Sattvaha. Sannyasa Yogat meaning one should give away karma. So it is both of this Shruti is dwelling on karma sannyasa. For whom? For this Atma Vidaha or Brahma Vidaha. So both of them are talking about karma sannyasa. Therefore also it is not talking about the samuchaya of karma and gnana. Samuchaya of gnana and karma is not proper. तस्मात् अयम एव इह क्रियावान यह ज्ञान ध्यान आदि क्रियावान संभिन्न आर्य मर्यादः संन्यासी. Therefore, here iha means here, tasmat means therefore, iha means here, only such a sannyasi. So I'm taking the sannyasi word first. So therefore here only such a sannyasi is called kriyavan. Yah or even we can say, so I am, therefore, only this uh, only this is called Kriyavan, who is such a sannyasi. What kind of sannyasi? Gnana, Dhyana, Adi, Kriyavan, Sambhinna, Arya, Maryadaha. One word, one compound. Who does not Arya Maryadaha Sambhinnaha, who does not breach the boundaries of an Arya, who does not cross the boundaries of being an Arya, of a cultured person, and who is engaged in Gnana, Dhyana, Adi Kriyavan, who is engaged in activities of Shravanam, meditation, and developing this Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Only that person is called, only that sannyasi who has given up all the karmas, who is not doing karma and gnana together, who is not dwelling in I am akarta and trying to do I am, who is doing activities as I am karta and dwelling in self as I am a karta. That cannot happen together. So such a sannyasi who has given up all the karma, sarva karma, and who is dwelling in activities, who is kriyavan, in what kind of kriya? Who is active in activities such as shravanam, meditation, and all the kriya pertaining to developing the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Such a cultured Arya Maryadaha, such a one who does not breach the boundaries of a cultured person, alone is called Kriyavan here. यह एवं लक्षणः न अतिवादी आत्मक्रीडः आत्मरतिः क्रियावान् ब्रह्मनिष्ठः सः ब्रह्मविदां सर्वेषां वरिष्ठः प्रधानः. So in this manner, evam lakshana, in this manner, yah, one who has such attributes, na ativadi, does not become an ativadi. Atma kridah, atmaratihi kriyavan, brahmanishtah, being the one who is atma kridah, meaning the one who is sporting in atma, in the self, atmarati, being the one who is reveling in the self, kriyavan, and being the one who is active in shravanam, dhyana, meditation, and developing in one's sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Brahmanishtah saha brahmavidam. He alone is abiding in the in Brahman. He is the one abiding in Brahman. He is the one abiding in Brahman, and he alone is the most exalted among all the wise people. So that is mantra 4. And so we stop here, and tomorrow we will start. Tomorrow I will try to complete the rest of the section of this mantra. Let us see how it goes. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
We'll meet at
Hari Om.
6 o'clock only, yeah, tomorrow.
6 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll do 1 or 2.